What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today I thought I'd give you guys my 2 cents about these patch notes because, there's some things about these patch notes that just really aren't the greatest, especially considering what they're doing, and which one of them is being, giving Blue Dragon a tier 4. I mean, the thing is, we've already had two Blast tier 4 characters in Iron Man and Storm, right? And, once again, they give us another Blast character, and it's like, why don't you give us a Speed character? I mean, I love Blue Dragon, and I'm happy that she's getting an upgrade. But it's just like, why don't you give us a speed, right? We've already had two combat, we've had a universal, now we're gonna have three blasts, but we haven't had a speed yet. It would have been a little bit more balanced if Netmarble would have threw out a speed instead of doing what they've done in the past, where they kind of leave speed behind, right? Kind of leave them in the dust back in the day, to where all the other characters were pulling ahead. And it looks like that's what the trend that they're planning on doing with the tier 4s, which I hope they don't do. Hopefully in the next update we'll get a nice speed tier 4. But I mean, other than the tier 4 for Blue Dragon, we're getting a tier 3 for Kamala Khan, and we're getting an upgrade for Sunbird. And Blue Dragon, guys, does look like she's probably going to be pretty decent in PvP, right? I mean, I didn't really compare her awakened skill, but I mean, they gave her, an increase all basic attack by 30%, which is nice, increase basic defenses. And they also gave her ignore iframe on her third skill. And this has got a lot of text, guys. I mean, it's got 80% chance to penetrate. It's got a nice damage accumulation by 1.3%, which is nice. It's a damage accumulation based on how much damage you deal, which is amazing. That's sick. I mean, I'm really happy to see that. That's really going to be a huge upgrade for her, just in that itself. But the ignore iframe, and it's going to be on a 7-second cooldown, so she might have PvP viability. I mean, now that she's going to have a tier 4, right? I mean, look what probably will happen. She's going to have the type advantage against Hulk, right? She's going to start whooping up on Hulks. I don't know, man. But, it would be like Netmarble introduce a PvP meta, then all of a sudden take them out of the mix by introducing someone like Blue Dragon. But this is an expensive one to level up. And then we also have another, attack buff right here. And we have a nice 20% recovery heal. That's a nice heal. That's a really, really good heal, but it's on a 9-second cooldown. It would have been better if this would have been a lower cooldown or a little bit higher heal. And then, but of course, when she goes tier 4, she's going to have more HP. So, I mean, there is that. Then we have Sunbird, who is the speed character, right? And he gets, a chain of damage by 10% when attacking. He gets ignore dodge, which is nice. His awaken skill, not going to get into that. And then he does get a 10% recovery. This is pretty much a joke, guys. 10% recovery is jack. I mean, if you're trying to push, high levels of world boss or fairly high levels, you're going to die really, really easy if that's the only heal you got. Yes, he does have a revive, and that is nice. But 10% recovery isn't the greatest, in all honesty. We'll see what kind of iframes he has in his kit, how well he can avoid damage. But against Mephisto, where he'd have the type advantage, he's still, I mean, guys, he's going to take a lot of damn damage because of that chip damage that Mephisto offers. So we'll see how it plays out, right? But he does have an increased all attack by 35%, which is okay, right? But we're not seeing no increased attack by 50% or no insanity right now. And then he also has a damage accumulation based on how much damage you take. And against Mephisto, this is actually going to be a really good thing. But again, guys, only having a 10% recovery is, I mean, it's iffy, guys. It's ugh. And then we get to Kamala, who they changed to a speed type. And they did give her an increased basic attack by 40%. This is a big buff from her previous uniform effect. I think it was increased all attack by 15%. And then she has increased all basic defense by 50% and a decreased damage received by 30%, which is really, really good. The ignore target dodge and the guard break immunity is amazing for this character. That is awesome. And then the tier 2 passive increased chain damage by 15% is really, really great. And then you scroll down a little bit, guys, you get to the third skill. She has a damage accumulation based on how much damage you deal. 1.3%. Thank you so much for the subscription. That is nice. That's a very, very sweet accumulation. On top of that, she has invincibility. So she's got native super armor for that 4 seconds of invincibility, and she has the immunity to guard break in her kit. Sorry, buddy, not right now. And that's pretty damn awesome, guys. She's also got 5 seconds of immunity. She got all attack by 60%. Honestly, guys, like when you just look at the kit itself, right? Other than looking at level 80 for Blue Dragon, Miss Marvel looks like she got the most love. I mean, this is big attack buff, man. It's insane. And then she got 35% recovery of HP. Now, what they did do, guys, is they actually removed a little something from her kit. So she actually had HP in her kit before. If you take a look at her kit here, she did have HP from her uniform effect. She had 30% HP from her uniform effect. So that is gone. And the way that she worked before is that her heal actually showed up every 6 seconds when she was below 50% HP. Whereas the way it is now, they changed that to where now her heal is procced from her fifth skill, and this is on a 9 second cooldown. But the beauty about this is, as long as she's above 50% HP, like 70% or 75, she's still going to get a heal, but she's not going to have as much HP as what she had before because it took away that HP passive from the uniform effect. So we'll see how that plays out. But I mean, honestly, her kit looks pretty solid. It looks really, really good. And then you have her tier 3. She's got damage proc on, which is nice. You guys can look at the tier 3 right here. And then you see Blue Dragon's tier 4. Increase all attack by 65% is amazing. That's a huge buff on top of the stat buffs that she's going to get. And then the lightning damage, 1000% of energy attack, additional 107 lightning damage. So okay. And then you look at the artifacts, guys, and, Blue Dragon's artifact, the ignore target dodge is good. The increase all attack is good for her. I mean, this is always going to be up. And then Sunbird's decrease base damage for supervillains by 20%. And this applies to all the warriors of the sky. So, I mean, if she ends up being good in PvP, I mean, having him on the team would give her a revive. And, if you had this artifact on him, it would also add to her survivability, decrease the base damage received from supervillain types, which is also good. And the increase to HP. I mean, honestly, it's a very, very good support artifact, especially for more than likely Blue Dragon, because she's got the tier 4 available for PvP, guys, and maybe even PvE in all honesty. But the thing is, one's speed, one's blast, one's male, one's female, so they're not exactly going to always fit the right restrictions when it comes to World Boss. And then Kamala's here, increase their base damage to supervillain faction by 20% and decrease base damage received from supervillains by 20%. Pretty decent artifact for her. This is always going to be up. Sorry, buddy, you're down right now. This is always going to be up. So, I mean, as far as the uniforms, I really think that Miss Marvel got the most love. It does look like this artifact for Sunbird is going to be, I mean, for PvP, if Blue Dragon ends up being really, really good, then a lot of people are going to be, looking out to get this artifact for Sunbird so that way they can increase her HP, they can increase her survivability. Because I really don't think that he's going to have, PvP viability. I think it's going to be more Blue Dragon. But really, I mean, the sour note, guys, honestly, from this update is the fact, and this sucks for me to say because I love Blue Dragon, is the fact that she is a blast type. We've already had 2 blast tier 4s. Do we really need another one, Net Marvel? Seriously? You could have gave us a speed tier 4. That would have been way, way better, but you chose to go the blast route. I mean, it's always like they always want to show love to blast characters over and over and over, and they don't want to show love to other characters. I don't know why that is, but it wouldn't be hard to rectify. It wouldn't be hard at all. All you got to do is give tier 4 to other types, right? We don't have a tier 4 speed right now. We got 2 combats, 1 universal, and 2 blasts, now 3 blasts, but we don't have any speed. So I think that's the sour note that a lot of people are going to have against this update. Not really necessarily against Blue Dragon. It's just, they're just like, man, look, why didn't you just give us, a tier 4 for a speed character? I mean, why do you have to do it for a blast again? I mean, seriously. It's kind of ridiculous in all honesty, guys. They really should have just gave a tier 4 to a speed character. I think that would have been more welcomed in all honesty. But they did it, and I know a lot of people aren't going to tier 4 the character just because of that. Unless she becomes a meta in PvP, then people are probably going to look out to get her. But I can tell you guys right now, as far as me, and it wouldn't matter if it was her or anyone else, I'm not going to be able to tier 4 anyone because I just don't have the materials. It's going to take weeks before I get enough materials to be able to tier 4 another character. So guys, let me know what you think about this update. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GD+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody.